So we will certainly discuss the one of the points over here, or one of the topics of literary criticism of the standard of taste by David Hume. David Hume's of the standard of the taste is the most important contribution to the aesthetics. Aesthetics, okay, originally published in 1757 and proved a milestone in the literature on criticism. And it also influenced Kant and provoking debate even in the present day. James Shelley described it as universally regarded as the masterpiece of the period. It stands with Kant's third critique as a foundational text of the modern aesthetics theory. So over here, in the first paragraph, we have the introduction regarding the standard of the test, and certainly all these critics critics has are these critics have paid the highest tribute to David Hume. Okay, so and why David Hume felt it essential to introduce the standard of the test? What is the meaning of standard of test? The meaning of standard of test over here is that how critic will certainly judge the piece of art. We have already discussed that some things are subjectives or some things are objectives. And in our previous topic, we discussed that critics maybe or must be subjective as far as the writer's views were concerned. On the other hand, Matthew Arnold supported the object, right? So here, a standard of the test is that what should be standard to judge the work of art, right? Here again, we have uh, regarding the contribution of David Hume. It was in the 18th century that the question of the test became a recognized central theme in aesthetics. Okay, Hume studies the relativity of taste in art. Relativity in taste and art means what is the relation between the judgment of critic and the art which is being presented before him, and tries to identify a standard of taste that can allow us to resolve aesthetics disagreements. It means that David Hume's contribution to the criticism was certainly praiseworthy, through which he tries his level best to set standards of the test to judge the work of art. And he is of the view that all the critics, all the means literary figure must keep before themselves all these standards before moving forward to judge any work of art. So his aim was to remove all the disagreements. Rather than study this essay alone, we also need to study Hume's works more generally. It means that we should enhance our knowledge by going through David Hume's works. But you know very well that we have uh, very short period of time, so that's why we are unable to go into the details of the things. So that's why we always try our level best to understand the things over here, especially in the given means work. Okay, that is to the point to the standard of task. As this aesthetic is closely integrated into his wider philosophy. It means that what is aesthetics? Now, we will. I have certainly discussed the same points over here in the coming pages. Now see, here in this, if you can look at screen, then you will find that there is a definition of aesthetics. Aesthetics also spelled, now there's a spellings or pronunciation of the same, the philosophical study of beauty and taste. Aesthetic means the study of beauty and taste. It is closely related to the philosophy of art. It means that aesthetics is related to philosophy of art, which is concerned with the nature of art and concepts in terms of which individual works of art are interpreted and evaluated. Okay, so number one, now we have learned that aesthetics means that it is a philosophy. Philosophy of what? Philosophy that is related to beauty and taste. Beauty and taste means that there must be aestheticism in all the critics, that they may at least be inclined towards the work of art, especially in the light of aesthetic philosophy. Right? Let us move back. So this is the aesthetics means philosophy. Okay. As his aesthetic is closely integrated into his wider philosophy. Right. Hume's writing style is clear and his argument comparatively easy to follow. So now see, this is an essay, in fact. This is a critical essay through which David Hume has introduced a standard of task. And this is a essay is divided into the following paragraphs. Okay, so we have simply means the brief uh, introduction of paragraphs. So these are four. This essay is divided into four sections, and from paragraph number 1 to 8, Hume defines the issue, namely the test is highly variable and subjective, right, and explores aspects of problem. From paragraph number 1 to 8 of essay, Hume has emphasized these things. Number one, he has defined the issue. Issue means standard of test. The test is highly variable and subjective. It means that there is a great variance in the standard of test. Number one, variance means it varies from person to person. Why? Because standards have means cannot be fixed, or they cannot be decided. Standards may be vary. How they will maybe vary, we will certainly discuss the same in coming lines. Number one, namely the test is highly variable and subjective and explores aspects of problem. Okay, there are certain aspects or different aspects of the issue. Paragraph number Paragraphs from 9 to 16. Hume makes an empirical case for the rules of the standard of the test. Empirical over here means the knowledge that is based on our experience and observation. Okay. Empirical over here means that the knowledge we have received with the help of experience and observations of others. By what standard may we decide one opinion is better than other, or one opinion is better than another? So how we will have to make the standards? And paragraph number 17 to 27, Hume outlines some of the qualities of good critic. Now these are the most important qualities which Hume has highlighted to be a good critic. For example, if you want to test the critic himself, that you must try your level best to find out all these qualities in him. If he lacks all, means even few qualities or one or two qualities, he cannot be critic at all. And now see what happens that let me to give you an example over here. That sometimes what happens that people may spread rumors against others, right? And certainly such type of thing or such type of rumors may earn a bad name to the affectee or the person. So first and foremost thing is to verify or identify a character of a person who speaks against you. If he is a man of low character, then you will certainly not take his rumors quite serious against you. So this is the case over here. Before moving forward, means let us see that either the critic possesses all these qualities or not. Number one, strong sense. Number two, delicacy of imagination. Three, practice. Four, comparison. Five, absence of prejudice. Means free from biasness. As in criticism we have discussed before, that critics must not include or they must not follow their personal liking and disliking, number one. And number two, when they are critic, they must look at the things from their means from critical point of view, but they may not allow their personal liking and disliking in it, right? Well, unfortunately, the thing over here, or the issue over here is this that the people always mix up their personal life with professional life, right? So personal life is something else and professional life is something else. Here, Hume considers two caveats that will affect every critic. Natural variation in people. These are the two most important points which affect every kid. Natural variation in people. Number two, cultural conditioning. Up conditioning means that when your attention is drawn towards the particular type of thing, especially through conditioning. How, for example, if you can recall in your memories, there's conditioning is itself a philosophy. And Russian means the philosopher was behind it, uh, who introduced, and his name was Pavlov, and who introduced conditioning. Conditioning for what? To motivate the students at early stages. For example, early in the morning when a school bell rings, it means that you have been called for assembly. Okay, and when the same bell rings at means 10:30 or 11 a.m., it means that there's a break time. So you don't need to inform again and again. But this is a conditioning type of thing that the ringing of bell certainly represents the break time, half time, and different type of periods, and then at the end means at the end the uh, off times of a school, right? This is the conditioning. Number one example. Example number two, conditioning means that when you do good things or when you perform well, that teacher always puts remarks on your work: good, excellent, better, fair, and etc. Right? So these words are closely related to the conditioning. Conditioning of what? That when you will do good, and you also think that when you perform well, then you will be awarded such type of means things, and you will be encouraged through such and such words. right? So this is called conditioning. So over here, the cultural condition, what it is, let us move forward. So let us start from paragraph number 1 to 8. Hume opens with the statement of the problem. Now, as the first point is a statement of the problem. Okay, what is problem? People have great variety of taste in art, even people with similar backgrounds. So here it means that either you belong to the same background, but you have variation in your tasks. Hume, as a scholar, Hume, as the scholar Jonathan Bennett has pointed out, does not mean taste in a narrow or shallow sense, but to mean every kind of aesthetic reaction to works of art. It means that the word has a test, T-A-S-T-E, test is means in commas, and it does it does it doesn't possess a narrow sense, but is a broad sense. Broad sense means that every kind of aesthetic reaction to work of art. Aesthetic reaction, good reaction, and when you find a beauty in the work of art, he doesn't mention specifically art until a bit later. The great variety of taste as well of opinion which prevails in the world is too obvious not to have fallen under anyone's observation. It means that the one person's observation means is of no importance. Men of most confined knowledge are able to remark a difference of taste in a narrow circle of their acquaintance, even where the person have been educated under the same government and have early imbibed means swallow the same prejudices. It okay. What we do, we always inherit the things from the society. So that's why I always means emphasize on one thing in the classroom, and that is no, no, you are students today, and tomorrow you will have to be leaders. So whatever behaviors of teachers, professors, university staffs, certainly you are going to means experience them. So overall, it means that our behaviors must be very much means satisfactory or good to you. That at least you may not learn the prejudices and etc. You may hate all those things which are not quite good, and we must be very much careful and cautious in our behaviors to others, that people may not blame us for being rude and being selfish and self-centered and irritable and others, right? So it means that if you are going to have, you are, if you are getting education in the university in the same background, all the students are there, but their experiences are not same. Here the Malk, I don't know Maro Malk. Okay, so means we imbibed means follow the same prejudices, but those who can enlarge their view to contemplate distant nations and remote edges are still more surprised at the great inconsistent consistence and contrariety. Con- Contrariety. It means that, but those people who contemplate, who thinks about, uh, who thinks about the generations, about the future, about means remote edges, are uh, they certainly are very much consistent, right? Okay, so now see that as I have given you an example, that when we treat you like future leaders, then our behaviors would be entirely different than that of than that of the common teachers. Why? Because we are trying to make leaders over here. Tomorrow you will have to lead. So our eyes must be fixed on future. On future means for the year 2040 and 2050 and onward. And then what will happen, that tomorrow you will replace us, and your outlook and your vision and your consistency must be more than that of us, right? So those are certainly educated people, and those are called means the critics of the highest calibers. But critics does not mean that they are over here to find faults from the things and from the people and etc. No, no. Critics are those who are the people of the highest caliber, and they must have aesthetic sense, that they may understand the work of art, understand the things, and may also lead the people, and may appreciate your work of art. Hume does not express any doubt about the existence of beauty, nor is interested in defining it. Now, there's no need of it to explain the beauty, okay? And we have discussed also in our last lecture that beauty is there, beauty is everywhere, beauty is in your inner self. When beauty is in your inner self, then you will be able to appreciate the things outside. So here he is not interested in defining beauty. That what is beauty? His interest in this essay is the standard of test. Now whole the focus of the writer is the standard of the test. Number two, point number two, the variety of test is still greater in reality than in appearance. So there's the greatest means variety, or variety in the work of art. Now there are two worlds. Number one, the world that appears before you, and the world of reality. The world of reality is in your inner self. Okay, so that's why you are able to find out the things, especially in the light of that reality which exists in your inner self. And when you look at the things outside, then those things appear to you, means quite good. Everyone agree to praise certain qualities. Okay, so these are the general rules. All the people throughout the world, irrespective of color and creed, religion, and etc., they strongly believe in elegance, propriety, simplicity, spirit. Now, these these are the things. These words are these ideas certainly are well known throughout the world. And to lament others. Lament means, and people rejects and people shed tears, means on such type of situation. Uh, Please, can you hear me? Can you listen to me? Can you listen me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
that's
sir.
good. Because sometimes I find certain type of notice over here on the screen, that sometimes it tells me that it is connection is unstable and etc. Anyway, lament others. First in affection, coldness, and a false brilliancy. But Hume observes a mismatch between general and particular. So there's no any match between general and particular views of the people. But those things which are praiseworthy throughout the world, they must be kept before each and everyone. And also, the critics must keep these standards before them. When critics come to the particulars, this seeming unanimity vanishes. Okay, so there are two things. Number one, general things, particular thing. Particular means when you particular means any piece of art. So when the critics come to the particulars, they ignore all those things which are means general. We can agree upon the good and bad artistic qualities in the abstract. But as soon as we address specific examples, we resort a subjective test. To take a contemporary example, two people may both prefer realist fiction, but fiercely disagree about whether Z.A. Smith and James Cattleman is better novelist. Hume contrasts this with scientific debates, which are the opposite. The particulars, empirical data are agreed upon, but the broader interpretation can be very different. Now, see here, the thing is quite easy, but it seems very much difficult. On the one hand, we are in search of reality. So, but when these particular means the empirical data, first-hand data, data that is based on the experience and observation of some person. Certainly, all of us agree upon it. But as far data itself is real one, okay. But as far as the interpretation is concerned, the same interpretation is not agreed upon by all the people, right? So there is a question of interpretation. And let me to give you other example. Do you think that what is the main cause of all the sects in Islam? There's only one question and one thing, one reason. That is interpretation. Interpretation. And whenever we we believe in reality, but we don't believe in interpretation. As a result, what would be? There would be variation means are the difference among people. So that's why he has given the examples. Number three, Hume makes an analogy with ethics. With ethics, although he timidly writes about those who disposition. Now, I'm very sorry, time is running out, so let us stop me over here, and I'm going to continue after 10 minutes, please, from the point we have left. All right?
Okay, sir.
We have 15 students in the class today, and
Okay, sir.
I think that
Yes, sir.
this is also quite good. And I will also send you these papers to you that you may go through the same yourself as well.